Hello again. I'm moving on with the car. I've had a few minor issues. I'll explain what's been going on. Yeah, I started putting screws in to hold the wing in place. What I've done is I've feathered it down so it's much thinner than it was at the edges. But the problem I've got is the last one I did, I left the fiberglass on and it was high here and I feathered it down, which in hindsight is probably a better idea. I think I've done the same on the other one as well. So what was happening when I was putting the screws to hold it in, because it's so uneven on the other side, it was very ripply. If you look down you could see it was going in and out where all the screws were. So my idea being now, if I glue it and don't rivet it or screw it, I'll just clamp it in place and rely on the tiger seal. Obviously I'll put another, I'm just going to go here and clamp that one in. I need to get some more clamps. Yeah, and also bond all down the bottom. Well, it's quite far away. It's really weird because it's close to the arch here, the original arch, but the original arch goes in, so this is sticking out more than the original rear quarter, but this is not far off the same. So it's not actually wider, just makes it look wider. Right, so yeah, and I can put screws at the bottom piece where it runs along the lip from the old rear quarter. So I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I've been grinding away. It makes a mess of fiberglass. I've just given the door a bit of a clean up and rust treatment on it. Just any bits that were, well, once I've cleaned them up, it doesn't look like it, but that was like bare metal. It's just the rust thing makes it go black. I've taken the trim clips out, so I've either got to fill those or weld them up. I've cut the front wing back a bit, so that fits better now. So really what I want to do is bond this on. I want to get this bonded on, and then I can start with the fiberglass, layering up the fiberglass, so I can keep the shape and then blend it into the corner. Right, see how we get on. Right, I've just come back from work. It's 5 o'clock, so it's a bit late, and I'd normally like to start making noise in the shed. But what I'm going to do is get my grinder with a sanding pad on and just rough up where the bonding's going to go. I've bought some extra clamps, so my old ones, got some steel to squash it against the side, plenty of glue in there. That's a big gap between that and the panel inside. I'm going to expanding foam that, but at the moment, oh yeah, I put that on yesterday because I think it'd be a bit hard to get to once it's all done. So it's glued on. Yeah, so the glue will go all the way up the back and only a bit along here. There's a void in there, but we can expanding foam that. Around the arch, that can bond the steel, the original steel, to the fiberglass, and under the bottom, the lip where it screws to the old sill. So yeah, let me get cleaning up. Right, it's the next day. Yeah, it's done like 20 odd hours. It's nice and solid. Wherever the tiger seal went, it's gripped it really well. So this was all floppy before. It's a little bit floppy at the edge, but that's going to be fiberglass and feathered in. Yeah, there's nothing to fix to behind here. That's where the expanding foam will come in. But yeah, it's still solid. I think that's the result. So I'm going to trim these bits off, get that off, and then I'm going to start building up the fiberglass. I've got a fiberglass kit, some resin. I'm going to make some small strips and put resin down the gap here. Just build it up so it can come up and then feather into this corner. So it doesn't matter if the corner's over a bit more. And the same here, this is just going to get feathered into this corner. So it's going to be a little bit more of a step. It's nothing you're going to notice. Because this is designed to replace this part, it's a bit awkward getting that closer in. The sage lines are actually lining up. So that's what's more important. I'll just feather this in. And then, yeah, I'm very pleased with that and how solid it feels. Just sanded down the edge of the fiberglass and where the new fiberglass is going to go, just to give it something to key into. It is quite, a lot of it's darker than that in areas. Apparently, I bought it off a guy who bought it off a guy, and apparently one of the guys had a fire in their garage, and I think this like got some smoke damage or whatever it is. Right, so I'm going to cut some strips of fiberglass now and start pushing them in, filling, like this needs a bit behind it just to fill the gap, just so I can blend it in. Alright, that's fiberglass cut. Cut some up there. The idea is I use the paintbrush, I mix the resin in there, use the paintbrush to paint down the back here and then push the fiberglass in. So, and then build it up so I can get the level so I can flush it out. The good thing about the fiberglass is if it's too high, you can just sand it down. And if it's too low, you can just put more fiberglass on. So this is just so I know I've got enough stuff. I'll take it out, paint the resin, push it down, and then resin over it, and then put the next layer on, and then I can feather it out. But it's looking, the curve is looking pretty good there, whereas before with the screws it was going in and out and looking pretty rough. Right, now this is where I have to mix the resin up and try and get it on as quickly as I can before it starts going off. Right, if you've got OCD or a perfectionist, close your eyes, because it's a mess. It looks a mess. But all I'm doing is building it up so I can sand it back down again. I've still got more fiberglass to put on it. A lot of this is going to get cut off where it's sticking over. Just I've got to build it up so I can feather it in. But there's still gaps right there. I've got to put more in there. But I just don't want to build it up too much, so I'm going to let this go hard, sand it up, see where I am, and then yeah, do phase 2. But yeah, I'm pleased because this fiberglass goes off quite quick, so it shouldn't be long before I can sand it down. And once I've sanded it down, filled it, fiberglassed it again, sand it down, I'll probably do a bit of filler because there's lots of the screw holes to fill, and then put some primer on it just so I can see what needs attention, what needs a bit of work doing. The whole car is getting primed again in, I think I've got grey primer to prime it all inside and out. So I'm still, yeah, I'm not going to go on about the roll cage. But yeah, we're a step closer. Yes, I've left it about an hour. It's starting to set. So what I'm doing is I've got the expanding foam tube in the sink full of hot water to warm it up. I reckon I'll be able to get the nozzle through here to spray some foam into here, this area, and then, oh yeah, there's a gap under here, so I should get the nozzle up and be able to spray some here. And for this side, I've drilled some holes inside the original rear quarter, so I'll be able to spray the foam in from there, and I'll just get some bits scattered about just to hold it all in place. And I'd rather do that before I've finished filling in this bit, just in case the expanding foam does push it out a little bit and it'll only crack it later, but it bonds it together as well. So oh yeah, I can get the nozzle in here as well, get some down the bottom. I'll give that a go. That's the foam applied. I just have to trim it off afterwards. I've got it, it's gone in there everywhere. It's gone on the floor a bit as well. Yeah, that's gonna make it solid. It's just if you get stuck in a bank and someone comes and tries pulling the car up by the wheel arch, which obviously you want them to help you get out, you don't want them to pull the wing off in their hands, so this all helps bond it together. Right, I'm just gonna give that some more time to get hard, sand it down. I've got the sander back. I'll give it a once over, and then I'm gonna put more, I have to put more fiberglass on. You can see where it's sticking out a bit still. I'll know more when I've given it a sand down and tidied it up a bit. Right, I've given it the first fill and a sand down, and I've just put a bit of paint on it. White's very forgiving. You don't seem to see so many issues. I mean, it looks so much better in one colour, but I knew it was going to need another fill. I don't know how much you can see, but there's bits all along that need filling, which was expected. I've got to put the rear light in so I know exactly where to tidy that up. Yeah, but that's looking better. Bit of filling around here, not a great deal. This needs building up a little bit more. Yeah, all taking shape. That's got a base to it now. So I'll give it an hour or so. I think, well, actually, I think I'll leave it there. I think I'm gonna leave that overnight to set. I don't know if I'll be able to do anything tomorrow. It's Christmas at the moment. So I've got things to do, but yeah, that's looking so much better. And you know, I reckon that's gonna look pretty good with a bit more filling on it. I think we're pretty much there. This needs sorting out. It must just be thicker fiberglass at the top. So I might have to space this out, which is a bit of a pain because the bolts to get to it are behind this bit of plastic and it's all foamed in now. So I might see if there's something else I can do. Bend this top pin in. Need the top to go in more. Anyway, that's a little thing to do. And then I've got the other side, the front core bit, front wing. Front wings won't take long to get on. The sill can go back on. Yeah, and then I can carry on inside the cage, get that done. I'm thinking again of welding it in, but that might change by the time I start working on it. I keep thinking of different ideas. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.